and we're doing the best we can.
I didn't know there was Uber cannabis, but remember when we approved this, we were said, we were told, hey, the black market's going to go away because of the excellent quality, et cetera, pricing, et cetera. Chair, if I may, I want to ask Mr. Otto, who's been really upfront and close with this. What is his insight as to why only 1/3 of the people are participating? Dr. Otto, do you have any comments? If I may proceed.
Thank you, Representative Ward. I appreciate the question. And it's a complex one because it's not entirely clear how patients are gaining access. Of course, Hawaii's program allows patients to cultivate their own medicine. And from what I've seen from my own patients, a good percentage of patients, probably 50% of my patients, are growing their own cannabis for medical purposes under state law because they want something that they know how it's being grown. They're growing medicine that they know is organic and something that they actually, the cost of which they can actually afford. And so it's not easy to grow, which is why our patients need access to products that could be available in dispensaries. But one of the major problems, as you mentioned, is cost. And as Randy has certainly pointed out in the past, the dispensaries are operating at an incredible tax burden, estimated at about 70%, because they cannot deduct their standard business expenses from their federal tax returns because they're considered continuing criminal enterprises and drug traffickers by the IRS. So unfortunately, I think a good portion of this is being passed on to patients. And so cost is a huge issue for patients. And of course, the dispensaries will have to resort to doing all kinds of sales to get products to patients at a reasonable price. But then we have patients who are just buying medicine based on sales and what's cheapest. And this is not the way patients should be selecting their medicine. So this is just a tip of the iceberg.
Can I interrupt you? What's the street price versus the dispensary price? Just a quick and dirty per gram.
Well, so I've heard from some patients that ounces can be had for $150 an ounce. And so, but it depends on the island. It depends on the production in that area, the illicit production. And I encourage all of my patients to stay away from the black market. They do not want to get involved in that because of the risks.
So 150
but
is
this
illicit
is
market? Wait, 150, I didn't get 150 per gram is which market?
Well, I'm saying ounce, not per gram.
I mean,
that would be an estimate that I've heard thrown around. But there are various ways that patients can gain access. It's not just the illicit market.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Otto. Thank
you. But if I could just make one comment.
Oh, okay.
It is this federal conflict that I'm trying to point out that is really making it hard for our dispensaries to survive. If we could get rid of that and allow them to be legitimate businesses, I think a lot of patients who are just kind of waiting because they don't want to violate federal law would be willing to start to frequent the dispensaries.
Thank you, Dr. Otto. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Anybody?